Hi everyone, welcome to this second episode in our revision video series. In the first episode, we covered planning your revision. So you should now have a revision timetable with what you're going to revise and when. If not, go back and watch the first episode again. This episode is going to help you decide how you're going to revise using active revision techniques. We're going to talk about flashcards, mind maps, flowcharts and timelines, why it's good to teach someone else what you're revising, and how to use past papers and mark schemes. As we said in the first episode, now's the time for you to take control of your revision. Use your metacognitive strategies to plan what you're going to revise, when and how. Monitor how your revision's going and change strategies if you need to, and evaluate whether you've learned what you need to learn to be successful in your exams. The first idea we're going to talk through are flashcards. These are a really popular revision technique, but it's important that you use them to actively revise. So firstly, some top tips on creating flashcards. Keep it concise. Only cover one idea or theme on each flashcard, and use short, clear language. Don't write too much information, because part of revising using flashcards is the ability to summarize information, and that helps you remember it. Use one side of the card for a question or a key term, and the other side of the card for the answer or the definition. Include images, diagrams, or mnemonics to help you remember your flashcards. A great idea is to categorize your flashcards. Use different coloured cards for different themes or topics. Once you've created your flashcards, the important bit is to use them to actively revise. So have a look at the front, at the question or the key term, and try to remember the answer or the definition before you look at the back of the card. If you can do this easily, put the cards in one pile, and you don't need to come back to that pile very often because you've already learned that information. However, if you're finding it hard to recall the information, put the cards on another pile and revisit these regularly. The second idea are mind maps. To create your mind map, start in the centre with a central idea, topic or theme, and then branch out with related ideas. You can branch out further with key terms. And it's good to add symbols, images and colour to make your mind map more memorable. To help with higher level thinking, try to connect different branches in your mind map to show how the themes or topics link to each other. Come back to your mind map regularly and add in new information. You can display your mind map around your room so that you're looking at it regularly. It's also important that you use your mind map to actively revise. So cover parts of it and see if you can remember the information that was there. Flowcharts and timelines are great for showing processes or how one thing changes another thing over time. So you can create flowcharts for step-by-step processes. For example, if you've got a mathematical calculation and you need to remember the steps of how to do it. Or if you're trying to describe a process like a scientific or geographical process, and you need to break it down into clear steps that come in a particular order. Timelines are great for showing how one event leads to another, and can also be really good for having a look how policies or ideas change over time, so that you can describe that sequence of where it started and how it's evolved over time. The percentages on this pyramid don't really mean anything, so don't worry about that. But it is useful for showing you the sorts of revision techniques that we call passive, which means that you're not really involved with them, and they don't help you to learn as well. And the revision techniques that we call active, where you're really involved in your revision, and these are shown to help you learn better. Passive techniques are things like just reading your notes or reading a textbook or listening to someone explain something to you. Active techniques are you practicing or teaching other people. It's a great idea to teach other people what you're revising, because in order to teach something, you have to break it down into really simple stages. Ask your parents or friends if you can teach them something they don't know, and get them to ask questions if they don't understand how you're explaining it. That will force you to break it down into even smaller steps, which will help you to remember them when you have to talk about them in an exam. Finally, it's great to use past papers, and we're going to talk more about this next episode. Using past papers helps you to practice exactly what you're going to be doing in the exam. This idea is a revision power hour. So start by choosing a past paper question targeted on a topic that you need to revise. Then spend 20 minutes revising what you need to know to do well on that question. Then do the question. Now that we're close to your exams, try to do questions in time conditions so you've got a realistic idea of how much you can write in your exam. Then mark your answer using the mark scheme. This will help you know what the examiners are looking for. And then finally, get feedback from your teacher, both on your answer and your marking, to see if you're accurate in both. Hopefully this has helped you to think of some ideas for how to revise. Remember, you can always ask us for more tips. Believe in yourself. You've got this.